Hope everybody had a great day today. Tonight we're going to kind of talk about time. The more I get older, the more I see how precious time is and how fast it goes by. Sometimes in my mind I still think I'm 20, but I go out and play basketball and I realize that I'm no longer 20. I started realizing that it's already September. How many of y'all are shocked by that it's already September this year, and it feels like just yesterday January was here? A couple other ones is we've already went through a year, and Hurricane Beryl came through, and it's a year later already. It's been 5 years since COVID-19 hit the United States. That's kind of a shocker. It seems like just yesterday we were dealing with it and all the things that were happening with it. 8 years since Hurricane Harvey, 20 years since Hurricane Katrina hit Louisiana, and then 24 years since 9/11. So time flies. And me and Mona this year celebrated our 30-year anniversary, which again, it seems like yesterday we just got married. Time has been on my mind here lately because there's a lot of scripture that talks about how we're spending our time. Sometimes I see my life sometimes goes that I get up in the morning, get to work, and then if it was like today, by the time I got finished, it was 6:30. And it felt like where did the time go? I felt like I just got to work that day. And so time goes very fast. And so all I want us to think about is how are we spending our time? And so I'm going to read a few scriptures here, and after each one that I read, I'm going to kind of just ask us the question, how are we spending our time? In Ephesians 5:15 through 16, it says, "Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time, because the days are evil." How are we spending our time? Is it in wise ways, or is it in foolish ways? In Psalms 90, verse 10 through 12, it says, "The years of our life are 70, or even for a season of strength 80. Yet their span is but toil and trouble. They are soon gone, and we fly away. Who considers the power of our anger and your wrath according to the fear of you? So teach us to number our days, that we may get a heart of wisdom." Another verse we can look at is Colossians 4, verse 5 through 6. It says, "Walk in wisdom towards outsiders, making the best use of time. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person." How are we doing that every day? Are we spending our time wisely in the scriptures, or are we spending our times doing other things? We also know that in 1 Corinthians 10, verse 23, all things are lawful, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful, but not all things build us up. What are we doing each day to build ourselves up? And how are we spending that time? We also know in 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 1-2, "Now concerning the times, the seasons, brethren, you do not need to have anything written to you, for you yourselves, you are fully aware of the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night." We know there's an end time coming. So how are we spending our time to prepare for that? Are we going to be ready for it, or are we not going to be ready for it? And then the final verse that I want to look at is 1 Corinthians 10, verse 31. "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all in the glory of God." Are we spending our times glorifying God? Are we spending our times doing other things? And so I just wanted to bring this lesson and have y'all reflect this week. Spend your time in trying to think about how we're spending our times, and if we're not spending our times in the right way, that we correct those actions and get back to spending our time glorifying the Lord. So if there's anyone here would like the prayers of this congregation or would like to be baptized, please come forward as we gather together, stand and sing.